Okay.
Go.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind King Golf, Jordan and Regan Headley. First up on the tee, we got Reg. How's it going, buddy?
Doing good, man. Not gonna lie, a little sluggish tonight. Hopefully, this episode picks me up. Ate a huge supper, stir fry, so I'm moving around the house pretty slowly. But I feel like I just got a big second wind here, starting the pod.
Perfect. And what's going on with you, Jor?
I just had a big supper too, actually. I had a fat steak and I had the meat sweats going, but I think I'm okay now. I trimmed my beard too. What do you guys think? I was watching those YouTube videos and I look like a freaking caveman, so I thought I should trim it, but I was cutting it and I obviously haven't used a razor in a while, and so it must have been kind of dead. And I don't know how many beard guys there are out there, but it wasn't moving full bore, so it was kind of like grabbing it and pulling it.
Oh, just ripping it out?
So after I felt like my face was going to fall off. It was kind of one of those things where I didn't have time, or I couldn't stop doing it and charge it. I just kind of had to push through it and
Power through.
so
Tough it out.
I hate shaving. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, no, all's good here. What's up?
You got the grade 12 hair going on. You got the wings
Hey,
out.
got some wings and everything.
Yeah, for those who can't see, I've had one haircut since COVID, since March 15th. So I don't know. It should keep me warm through the fall golf here. And
It's hoodie season.
but other than
Love it.
yeah, we move quickly from quarter zip season to hoodie season here. But no, we got lots going on tonight. We're gonna try another segment of over under. We're gonna talk about some U.S. Open stuff. We're gonna make some picks. Talk about our new contest we're working on right now, and then get to our usual segments: the Culture Corner, Reggie's Stroke Saver, and then we'll see what's going on in the junk drawer tonight. How's drums?
I'm living. All right. I'm enjoying kind of this nice coldish weather. My white
Really?
ass is designed for this stuff.
Really?
Yeah, this is my go-to.
What
I get
part
this.
about it?
Well, I don't have to worry about going outside and putting a pound of sunscreen on so I don't die.
Just like Howie from the Benchwarmers.
Yeah.
Scared.
That's
I hate
an
this time of
underrated
year.
movie.
But no, other than
Speaking
that, we got a shitload of painting going on in the house right now, and the office is an absolute war zone, so we're not going to pan to that tonight to see what it looks like, but it's a gong show over here right now.
Yeah, we just gotta look at that silly Leafs jersey instead.
Love it.
Leaf jerseys, Gilmore and Matthews. Who do you like better, Gilmore or Matthews?
It's not even a question. Gilmore.
What about Gilmore or Wendell?
Gilmore.
What about jersey or dartboard?
Jersey.
Hey,
Pick
we're
a-
still alive here, boys. Let's
Pick
go.
a team, would you?
It's on a dartboard. I wouldn't throw darts at a Philly dartboard.
Pick a team. Speaking of that, I'm through and through Winnipeg Jets fan, and I've been cheering a little bit for the Islanders lately. I think I
You yelling
jumped
at
out
the
of my
screen
seat.
last night.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
And I don't do that for hockey. Like I know you two do, like you guys do for the Jets and Leafs, but I did that for the first time ever for the Islanders last night. And our boy ripped one.
Yeah, his first G in a while. It's good to see.
Just hammered it.
He it wasn't probably the most exciting game in the world to watch, but I mean, they got what they needed, and they're playing again tomorrow night. So hopefully they can sneak another one out and keep it rolling. Be fun to watch
Sure.
those guys play Dallas. I know who I'd be cheering for there, but anyways, we got a weekend ahead of us in golf. So what's the scoop, Wingfoot? You guys been watching the golf channel and stuff like that so far, or what?
Lots. I don't know. I just the buildup of this tournament is, I mean, outside the Masters, I don't know if a tournament's ever been built up like this before.
No, like it's usually every year it's the Masters, right? And that's
Yeah.
kind of the main focus, and the rest kind of fall in line afterwards. But I don't know. This one seems it's kind of the first one, I guess, that not really the first one, but it's the first one in this really condensed schedule that just
Yep.
makes popping everything off. So it's pretty hyped and pretty excited to get up tomorrow early to watch
Yeah.
some tee times.
I think it's also that like we've touched on it. There is so many good golfers right now that there's just so much coverage that they can cover right now because there's so many different storylines, right? It's cool, man. I don't know. I
Here
don't
we go.
remember this ever.
Go through a few of those groups we were talking about a couple seconds ago.
So you got the Canadian boys going out, which is I didn't do any research, but that has to be maybe the first time ever that 3 Canadians are in the same group.
That's phenomenal.
Is that Pendrith playing too?
He's playing. Yeah.
Not in their group?
No.
How do you get into the tournament?
He's been absolutely shredding it, as I mentioned before on the web.com Corn Ferry. And then you got the Bombers, so Tony, Bryson, and DJ. Like, imagine that. Imagine playing as a fourth in that group. Man,
I'm
these
hitting
guys
it
all
fucking
smash it.
235 down in the rough, and these guys
And the
are
coolest-
100 yards past me.
The coolest part about those 3 is that they're all absolute bombers, and they all do it in such different ways, right? Like,
Yeah.
Tony's
that's
got
true.
that compact little swing
Yeah.
that just rips it. Bryson's what he is. And then DJ's got that, like, just compressed, smooth cut swing that just bombs it, right? That's a cool group to watch. And then, obviously, the one we'll be focusing on is JT, Morikawa, and our boy.
2/3 of that anyways will be just tuned in on.
LTJ.
That's such a sick group. Ricky, Wolf, and Hovland. I mentioned to Lance and Fox today that I just want to see Ricky going again. Those were some good days when he was in the hunt all the time. He's a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, he is.
So they all went to the same university. And then also Rom, Casey, and Phil also went to the same university at ASU. And then Hideki, Reed, and Spieth. So Reed and Spieth can hate on each other in the same threesome. So it should be entertaining as hell.
Reed, Spieth, and who?
Hideki. He just won't say a word to them.
Yeah.
I know the rough is usually the main talking point, and we probably don't need to get a whole too deep into this because if you want to get deep into it, just watch the Golf Channel for 5 hours. But I know the U.S. Open is usually the rough focus, and it is this year again. But did you guys see some of those greens?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like it looked like a 30-foot drop off on a few of those false fronts on the greens. And the cameras don't pick that up on TV. It's just kind of the behind the scenes where you get different angles of it. But
Yeah, pictures, like actual
Oh.
photos kind of give you a bit more than even just the
Yeah.
TV screen. And I saw a
Yeah.
picture of the 18th green, and it looked like it went up like 20 feet, and it didn't even look like it was
Yeah.
really that steep of an incline. And it's a huge green.
yeah,
Huge. Did you guys see? I tweeted out from our King Golf account that video of the grounds crew.
The guy
Like
rolling the
hype
ball.
video from like just the hype video for the grounds crew about like how important they are and how like there's actually no details that are out of place on the golf course.
Yeah, that
And
was
they,
unreal.
They take it like super serious, and that's something that I said to East, like as viewers we kind of just take for granted, I guess, until you actually see all that goes into it and you realize how hard those guys work to like create a course that challenges the best players in the world. It was a pretty cool video.
Like, what did Buddy say?
Especially-
He was there at 4 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
I'd like to see more of that stuff.
Yeah, that's unreal.
me too.
What was that on? Was that Foreplay that did that one?
It was Barstool, I think.
And those courses shut down for months
Right.
before the tournament, right? Like if
Yeah.
you want to play, you got to basically hit off a carpet.
Mm-hmm.
So they must make a ton of money on events. And I'm guessing it'd be different. There must be a lot of sponsor money coming in without the fans in the stands. But to shut down a course, it's probably making – how much would some of those courses make in a day?
Yeah, I've never heard that before. Like, what a course gets to host a tournament.
Yeah, we should do some research on that. I'm going to write that down, actually.
But if you think about it, say
you think they
a
get
course
picked?
like Clear Lake, oh yeah, for sure they would.
Or is it?
Because they would lose a ton of money in green fees.
I don't know.
I guess a lot of them are private though, right?
And like the exposure you get from just being that course, like it would just, you can charge that much more on your next green feed.
Probably true.
That's interesting.
I'm sure that they would get some sort of kickback on it, but
yeah, I'd imagine so. But I don't
like if you think about a course like Clear Lake, we played there a few times in the summer, and it was like Monday morning, and the course was packed, and everybody's paying $90 each per foursome. So that's what, $350 each, $360 each,
360
times how many tee times in a day? Like some of those, and that's Clear Lake in Manitoba. So if you think about some of those U.S. courses that are charging $300-400 U.S. per round, like to take a month off of that is kind of crazy. So I'm thinking that they would have to get some sort of revenue from it.
Yeah,
because if you think about it, like a wing foot wouldn't need any exposure, right? Like it's wing foot,
right?
So I don't know. I guess it becomes part of the course's history, which just kind of builds on the whole thing. But
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to think about. Like, I know that I thought like Super Bowl performers, they don't get paid, right?
Super Bowl performers?
I don't think they do.
Fuck yeah.
I don't think they do. I think I Googled it and I don't think they do.
Like a shitload of money.
No, I think they use it as like an exposure.
No.
Honestly.
Pepsi pays them. Like it's the Pepsi halftime show?
I feel like we Googled that at coffee break at work last year, and I don't think they do. But there's no sense wasting time about what we're not.
Yeah, that's right.
100% sure about.
That's bang on, buddy. So I guess should we get into our picks here, because we're gonna try something new? Or do you guys have anything else you want to add about Wingfoot quick before we go?
Just like I would be curious to know what one of us would shoot there on it. Like just.
It's hosted it 5 other times, the U.S. Open, and only once has there been a winner with a score under par.
The head greenskeeper said he would quit if the winner shoots under par.
That's phenomenal. But like I'm shooting 200.
So, but like, what happens on the betting sites? And I thought you usually had to pick a winner and finish under par.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
I'm guessing there would be a asterisk on this one. They might bend the rules a little bit because they might not get too many bets otherwise.
Yeah.
Transitioning from that, it's weird when we get a successful transition, but we just got one there.
What do you call it? A segue?
Segue. We're gonna be betting on tournaments for the 2021 season, and it's gonna start this weekend at Wingfoot. So something that we've been talking about a little bit, and we're still kind of working on a few logistics. But we're gonna pick 21 tournaments starting tomorrow through the 2021 season. We're each gonna pitch in X amount of dollars every tournament, going towards the pot, and each one of us are going to be picking one player per tournament, and we're going to have a contest on Twitter to get the fourth one. So basically our fourth doesn't need to pay anything, but he or she has a chance to win the growing pot that gets contributed to every week. So we're going to have a keyword on every episode, and if you send us a direct message on Twitter with the keyword, we'll put you in the draw and for the eventual chance to pick a guy. Did I miss anything there?
No, I think that's kind of got it.
Okay, like I said, we're still working on a few of the details. So what's the keyword going to be tonight, Rigo?
It is going to be Flying Monkey.
That's 2 words?
As in the Flying Monkey Brewing Company, craft brewery.
Okay.
That I'm drinking on tonight's episode. Might be.
Okay. So with that, we're going to start. We did a live draw for the first pick, and Rigo got it. So who are you going with, Rigo, and why? People can't see you.
For all
need to
you
talk.
listeners, you can't see. I just made an X with my arms with regards to Xander Schauffele. I'm going to go with him because he's a sick golfer for one. He grinds. That's what you need to do on this course, and he is hot right now. He would have won the Tour Championship last week if it wasn't for the handicap. So I would say he's the guy to ride this week.
Okay. And I got the second pick here. And I'm going to go with Bryson.
Ooh.
Which probably seems like a weird pick overall, but I've been watching some of the Golf Channel stuff, and they're kind of shitting on him a little bit. But I really liked his interview that he had the other day, and he said, "I'm gonna hit driver all weekend, and if it goes in the rough, it goes in the rough. It's a lot easier to hit a pitching wedge out of that rough than a 6-iron." And I agree. If you've ever hit out some of that rough, trying to hit a longer club out of there is a nightmare. Like you can't move it forward. And he might miss more fairways, but everybody's going to miss fairways. Those fairways are tight. So I think his main downfall will be his mental game. Like you alluded to with Xander's mental game, I think that Bryson's probably a little more weak than a lot of players out there. So if things are going bad, it's going to be bad. But if he's going, I'm picking Bryson.
My pick is going to be Tony Finau.
Nice.
He's been hot in a lot of big tournaments, kind of even in the past year. He's either had really good Thursdays or really good Fridays. He has, and then he kind of falls off on the weekend. So I'm banking on him to put a good weekend together, hopefully. Like George said, I kind of thought the same thing. If you're hitting it long, at least you're going to have a shorter iron out of the rough. So same thing with Tony with that. And yeah, I'd love to see him close one out here. So that's my pick.
He's kind of due for one for
a
big
He's
tournament.
kind of been – he might always be like the forgotten one of the past few years because everybody else gets more exposure than him, probably just because of winning. But he's always been right there for the past little while, eh?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, actually. I also, just to touch on one more thing in regards to that forgotten one, like Webb Simpson might be the most forgotten, like really good golfer of our time, right?
Of this era, anyways, with all
because nobody likes
JT
him.
Spieth area.
Like he's a good player, man, and he's won some big events, like, and nobody ever talks about him. It's kind of weird, actually.
Was it Webb that won? Was it the British Open where that fan walked by and he said, "Enjoy the jail cell, pal," or something like that? Was that Webb?
Was that where the guy was like, "Coco"?
Yeah, that was the PGA Championship. PGA Championship. What was that guy's name? Jesus.
The guy that came on?
He was wearing a bird suit.
Yeah, he's wearing a bird suit.
He looked like Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah, I forget what the hell what they called him, but anyways, yeah, I think like you said about Finau, Webb Simpson, I wouldn't even bring him up in the top 10 conversation, but he's always there.
The other one I always forget about too is Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, man.
And then I
agree.
Same thing. He always gets hot and then kind of goes cold, but I always forget about him too.
Tommy's a stud.
I like Tommy too.
All right, so what do we got? Reg has got Xander. George got
Bryson.
I got Tony.
After saying he was overrated last week.
No, we just said driving. Emphasis on
but it seems like you guys don't think that's true this week.
Okay. Last
that
week,
his
George says,
chapeau that he wears. I can't stand his chapeau.
Last week, George says, Bryson's driving abilities are overrated. This week, I'm picking Bryson because of his driving ability.
This show has lost all credit. The podcast lost all credit.
Yeah. On that note, let's get into over-under. So I guess just one more time to recap. We're going to be doing a contest going forward. We don't even know when the next tournament is, but if you listen to this episode, send send a message to our Twitter account, Kingdom Podcast, with Flying Monkey as the keyword. And then we'll get you in a draw for a chance to pick and win some cash with us. So that's that. We'll probably have a bit more information on the next episode, but start there, Flying Monkeys. And with that, we're going to get into our next segment of overrated and underrated, which we had a very, very surprisingly good reaction on Instagram from people were voting, and they were giving us some new topics. So we thought we would get into a few that people suggested tonight. And Reg,
I'll start things
first
off with the designer of the Kingdom Podcast logo, the Kingdom, Cam Winters. She wants to know whether or not we think White Claws are over or underrated.
Drums, what do you think?
Bit heavy over.
Over.
Heavy overrated.
How come?
I think they taste like awful.
What do you?
They're not even
comparing
like
it
they're
to?
not. I don't know, like anything. I'd rather drink water.
Well, I mean, yeah, but what? You don't get drunk on water, bro.
That's a good point.
Touche.
What do you think, Jor?
But at least make it drinkable. Like I don't know, like that.
Oh,
I can't even get it to, like I can drink it, but it's. I don't know the carbonation of it. It's all just too much.
I'm gonna say on par for this one. I actually have drank them before on the course. I'm more of a neutral vodka fan myself. I just like the taste of it a little bit better, but White Claws have just done a lot better job marketing and yeah. But if they're on the course and I have some in the fridge or in the bag, like I'll drink them. I have nothing against them. I think that they probably have a bad rap for being known as a girl's drink. But I mean, that's just vodka and anything really. But I'm a vodka guy, so
I'm not a big seltzer.
I would say on par. But at least with neutrals, I like the fact that it's like neutral makes their own vodka, right? So it's a vodka and soda. Whereas White Claws, I think it's just like there's a few of those things that just say alcohol, like it's not even really vodka. Isn't that what a seltzer?
I think they call it a seltzer.
It's seltzer. Yeah, so it's not even like a vodka. Is how they deem it.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
I'm gonna say overrated, except for the black cherry kind. I quite like those.
I will
That's
double
the
back
only-
and say I do like the black cherry one.
That's the only one I
Oh,
like.
really?
All the other
Yeah.
ones just taste like aspartame, like diet something, but they're
Yeah.
junk. But that one's actually good.
And the Mike Hard black
I've
cherry
had
ones. Ooh,
Yes.
look out.
The trouble with Mike's Hards is there's so much sugar in them.
Oh yeah,
you
you
can only
get
have,
so
like,
hungover.
one of those.
But I remember I forget where we were, Rigo, but we had some of those like the original Mike's Hard, and it was like a styrofoam cup, and she put a whole
Yeah.
bunch of ice in it. With
I think that was on
like
the East
that's
Coast.
solid. Yes,
That was East Coast.
because it keeps it cold. Once those drinks get a little bit warm, then you can taste the sugar a lot more, and I don't know. So
Yeah, that was good. I agree.
Yeah. So what's the consensus there? Mostly overrated, I guess.
I would say so. Yeah,
All right.
Okay.
except for black cherry.
Asterisks. We got one from Kenny Keeler,
Keebs.
and KNG Golf, and that is getting fitted for the right shafts in your clubs. Rigo, have you ever done it before?
No. Well, I can say I had an extra stiff shaft for like 4 years, and I never hit one good drive with that shaft. And then I switched to a stiff, and I like my driver now. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
So what are you going with?
well, I talked to that guy. I golfed to this guy at the Tamarack, and it's a true story because I talked to the guy that he qualified with after. So he qualified for 36 holes, and I played 18 holes with him in a match. And he said that he was always kind of a terrible driver of the ball, like always hit it kind of every way. He didn't know where his driver was going ever. And then he went into Golf Town and got fitted for a driver, I guess, and a custom shaft for him. And he said he went on record then and said that on the 18th hole after his match was finished was the first fairway that he missed in 54 holes.
He went on record.
He did. He
To
told
who, Beef?
he told there was like 10 of us standing there. He said that's the first fairway I've missed in 54 holes. So then I talked to whoever qualified with him, and they said, yeah, it was Waters. He actually didn't miss a fairway in the entire qualifying round, and he only missed one playing with us.
Wow.
So I'm going to say underrated.
If you're doing that at Clear Lake, you should be minus 10.
Yeah, I know. And he was in the second flight with me.
Did he hit it very far or just straight?
Yeah, like 260, 270 right down the middle.
Wow.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
Tom, what do you think, buddy?
I'm kind of the same boat. I've never had it actually done, but I'd put money on it actually mattering. So I'll say underrated as well.
Okay. I'm going underrated too. I've never been custom fitted, and it's something that I'd like to get done. But I can say that I have 3 different shafts between my driver, my 5-wood, and my 3-wood. And my 3-wood is an extra stiff shaft for some reason, and my other 2 are stiff. And I think the reason is probably a portion of it is mental, because I know that, so I try to swing differently with my 3-wood. And there is a lot to say about keeping the same swing and knowing what it's going to do. Whether that's just having the same shafts or whether that being specific to your swing, I would say both would be a great start for sure. So it's something that I want to do next year. I think that's going to be my thing, is just upgrade my woods to be the same shafts.
You definitely would have a huge difference between your extra stiff and stiff.
I know.
Don't you remember that ping driver I had? I never got through like one drive for 4 years. Like if I hit it good, it was just a block, but hit solid.
But
Well,
you've seen my 3-wood before, Rigo. Like I hit it good.
Yeah, but you have to rip
swing
at it to hit it good.
Yeah, true. But why did you go extra stiff on it?
Well, for being completely honest, I didn't know that it was an extra stiff shaft until this year.
Oh.
So yeah.
You don't hit it as much anymore. Once you found that out, the mental part of golf.
Yeah, that's right.
Drums, what do you got for us?
So this one came from Devin Sticalo. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. His is finding balls in the bush. Overrated or underrated?
Way underrated.
Underrated.
We used to be the Rossman Lake Hounds. We would be hoodies, pants, socks, and we would go in the bushes and get a ton of balls. I mean, Rossman Lake, there's Ukrainians up there, and we can say that because we're Ukrainian. So, I mean, we were finding pinnacles and top flight zebuladas in there, but we'd sit on the side of the road and sell them. And actually, Devin's comment was such a cheap thrill, and it is. Like when you're looking for a ball in the bush and you spot a ball, like it's like a shot of
Little shot of adrenaline.
adrenaline, something like that. But it's awesome. But on the other side, balls from the pond, which we also used to do, might as well throw them out, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, from the pond, get rid of them.
But in the bush, they're fine. Like you just need to scrub them up, and they're the same ball. Nothing changes for the quality of them or anything like that.
I don't know exactly how to answer it. I really enjoy a ball right out of the box, but it is what it is. I love finding. I do, and I'm quite good at it, finding balls for other people. I can't usually find my own, but
Yeah,
I'm usually pretty good. I'm usually pretty good at finding the guy that I play against every bloody time.
So if you find a Provi in the bush that looks gently used, you don't use it?
I use it. Yeah, I use it. Gently used. Definitely. But I don't get the same thrill of using it as a brand new one.
Don't you hate finding the guy you're playing against ball?
Yeah, and I do it every time.
Drives me nuts.
You hate it?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I think it's I think it's good karma, and I think that,
Well, it's part of the game, but at the same time, it's like, God damn it.
Yeah, I agree.
really?
I'm gonna say on par. I'm gonna say right on par for my answer.
I'd say on par
Okay.
as well. There's nothing better than cracking a sleeve of balls open and hitting a brand new ball, but at the same time, I'm not good enough to give a shit. But same thing as you were saying, Joe. Like I remember growing up and like with Pertulas, we'd go swimming in the ponds on the
In
course.
6 and 7, yeah.
Yeah, and try to get as many balls as we could. And like you said, the balls are garbage coming out of the ponds, but it didn't matter when you were young. So there's
But we
like
didn't
that.
know any different.
Yeah, we didn't know any different.
We just thought we'd miss it if it didn't go anywhere.
And remember how
Just a
good you
bunch
felt
of
when you
scam
found
artists.
a Pro V when you were like 13 years old? How sick
Oh,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I remember when we were like looking as kids, like I would have been like 6 or 7, so Jordan would have been like 10 or 11, and that's like when those Nike Tour Accuracy like TW and DD came out. If you
David
found one of
Duval.
those, that was like holy shit. Like
Yeah,
I found
back
a
then we
Tour
were pumped when we
Accuracy.
found like an XL 3000.
Yeah, that's right. Hot XL, Magna,
Yeah.
you name it. Pinnacle oversized. That ball was actually bigger than other balls. Like what?
Remember those like eye wounds, Wilson eye wounds that were like $40 a sleeve?
Staff Smart Core.
Yeah.
Sick.
I've drums. You say taking balls out of the package is a thrill, but I'm kind of on a weird mental mind game with myself where as soon as I pull a new ball out,
You lose it.
Ooh.
and it's a pretty bad place to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Hey, do you
So I
guys
don't
remember
know.
those TaylorMades?
I'm gonna conquer that.
With the old
Those
symbol?
TaylorMades? Yeah, but it was like a plastic container
yeah.
with like a blue thing on the bottom.
And like you pop
Yeah.
the top?
Yeah,
like a
it was kind of like
Pringles
a
can?
pill container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What were those called?
I think they were just
Energel.
tailor-made. Oh yeah,
Energel.
Energels.
Those were sweet balls, man.
that TaylorMade logo back in the day was sick.
It was mint.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. With the gold.
super cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
like gold
cool
or
balls,
bronze or something like that.
you would only lose those on holes when you just couldn't lose the ball. Like you'd just use them then.
Thinking about it,
And
I don't like the old TW logo. Like the Nike one.
No,
I don't like it now,
yeah.
thinking back.
TaylorMade was sicker.
Yeah.
this has been a conversation about random old golf balls from the 90s.
Well, give us
Thanks,
some
Devin.
credit. Well, let's
Drums
say
and
2000. We're not that
Thanks.
old.
Thanks, Devin. Got us on the finding balls in the bush.
All right,
Okay,
now
so
we're going
I-
to move to our second part of this where we come up with our own. So what do you got, Rigo?
What do you guys think of socks
Like on the course?
in life?
Ooh.
I might be missing something here, but
In
I
shoes,
don't-
can you wear like the value of socks on a day-to-day basis?
I'm
I
feeling
hardly
I-
hardly walk around my house or anything without socks on, so I'm going to say underrated, I guess, would be my answer.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm just saying, like you would walk around the house normally with your socks on because that's where you're used to. But if you ever had to go to work for a whole workday without socks on, you don't understand how much socks actually do.
well, why the fuck am I not wearing socks?
I'm just saying the value of socks. People underappreciate the value of socks because you just take them for granted on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh.
I thought I was missing something here.
I thought you were just asking if you're like wearing socks.
No.
Well, but my old lady like takes socks as soon as she takes her shoes off. Her socks go flying too. She just lives barefoot.
Yeah, I'm mostly barefoot around the house.
No, I'm socks all the time until I go to sleep.
But in shoes? How's it?
Well,
I
why-
forgot my. Okay, for example, I forgot my socks going out to the golf course on Sunday, so I didn't have any socks. And you don't realize how important they are.
Oh, I
to
thought
put
you
your-
meant like you went to work and forgot your socks. Like, how did you forget your socks going to work?
No, I forgot them going out to the golf course,
Oh,
and I
it was
realized
golfing.
how important socks are.
Christ.
Socks are very underrated. That's all I'm saying. Because you just take them for granted and put them on every day. But if you didn't have them, you'd miss them more than most shit in
Yeah,
the world.
I agree. Your body might adjust though too. Like,
All right, I'll give you that.
okay, so we're going to understand that they're underrated, an important part of life.
Socks,
Yes.
big.
Okay, go
this
the
episode is
rest of the week
sponsored by
without
Hanes.
socks on.
Okay, well, on that, I'm going to switch mine up. I'm going to call an audible. Save mine for next week, but I'm going to go good gitch. Because the reason I say that is because I was doing laundry the other day. I had no gitch left. And I'm probably going to sound like a brat here, whatever you want to call it. But like I got good underwear. I very much appreciate the quality of underwear, like Saks or the 2 Under, whatever it's called. And I had to dig through my drawer for this old pair of shitty cotton, no sack in it, pair of gitch. And I was like, what? Does anybody used to wear this or currently wear these? Like they're
You need a backup.
awful.
You need backup pairs.
Oh my God. Like just everything about it, like saggy butt. I'm not sure how far I'm going into this, but yeah. So you know what my answer is for this.
I'm with you. Like you need a good pair of gitch. And but I've learned
Especially if you're sitting all day, right?
I'm terrible at doing laundry in a good timely manner. So I had to go and like buy like backup gitch that I don't touch. They're at the bottom of the drawer. So I know if I see them, I have to do laundry. So I got about 3 days of backup gitch to do laundry. But
Yeah.
I bought the wrong size of the backup gitch. So I put the backup gitch on and they were the wrong size.
Too small?
Terrible. Yeah. So
Oh.
too small. So I just freeballed it for the day.
Commando drums.
And then went and bought new gitch instead of doing laundry.
So, must be nice. I don't want to answer this. Like,
You think it's overrated?
Would you say Joe Boxer is a good pair of gitch? Because 99% of the days I'm wearing a pair of Joe Boxers, like just a black pair of gitch with, I don't know. I guess.
I mean,
like,
Joe Boxers are whatever. Like I have a few pairs of those too. But I'm talking like the boxers we wore when we were kids, like super baggy and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't wear it. These are like briefs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking like boxers.
Yeah, I get that.
Those are
I have
terrible.
drums, like you're saying, those ones at the bottom of the drawer. I wore these tight ones the other day, man. Like, same thing. I was just like so uncomfortable the whole day. Like,
Yeah,
I think that was more of a size thing.
I lasted 5 minutes and I just took them off. And
I took them off.
Where'd you put them? Or you're at home?
oh yeah, no, I'm just out and about throwing my gitch around.
Just at work.
I don't know why this just came to my head, but I went to the liquor store today, and I was coming out and getting in my car, and this lady was coming out of her car, and she had something on her face, like as a mask, and I'm like, okay, I gotta wait and see what the hell this is. It was literally like she had ripped open a Ziploc bag and took like the bag portion. And have you seen like those ones, like the face shields where they have like the shield stapled around something? So she stapled like the Ziploc bag to the thing that goes around the head and put it across like just under her eyes. Like she had to peer over this thing. It was the most ridiculous shit ever. And she like, it was almost like she knew I was looking at her because she would like try to wait me out. And I'm like, no, I'll stay here all day, but I got to see this. And that's what it was. It was just like and it was just dangling. I'm like, oh, you're not saving anything. Go home.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Go somewhere at least.
What kind of undergarment do you have, drums, for your over-under?
My undergarment?
Yeah. Gitch, socks. What do you got? No, what?
It's close. I got ketchup.
Oh, so ours were nothing to do with golf. Actually, mine was, but we changed it up. Ketchup. I'm gonna say underrated, mostly because I have ketchup a lot. But I think that the amount of sugar in it has made me kind of cut back on it a little bit. And when you're a kid, you don't really pay attention to that, even as a college kid either. Just ask Stocks, the guy used to go through thing of butter per week, I think, and ketchup. But I spicy. I don't like the normal ketchup. It has to be spicy for me. But I cut back just due to the sugar in it.
I could probably start saving money actually if I bought spicy ketchup instead of buying Frank's and ketchup and mixing them together.
You're welcome.
But that's Tabasco and ketchup, not Frank's and ketchup, so it's different. But
It's better.
I would say I wouldn't say it's underrated, but I wouldn't say it's I'm going to say at par because ketchup, everyone appreciates it.
Can't stand ketchup.
Really?
It's super overrated.
Hmm.
I only have it with grilled cheese. That's it. Like I'll put it on a hot dog and hamburger now and then, but I don't need to have it on something.
Hmm.
And that's the only time. It's like a hot dog, maybe a hamburger, maybe mustard over everything.
Mustard is legit.
I like mustard too.
All right, boys. Well, we better wrap up this first segment here. We're a little bit over time, but keeping with the smooth transitions tonight, we're going to do our free ad of the night. And that is Smak Dab mustards, which is a mustard that is prairie grown right here in Manitoba. I'm not familiar with all the brands, but the favorite one in this house is the hot jalapeno brand. I had the pleasure of meeting the owner, Carly, over the winter at a wedding. She's one of Kel's friends. And they've been doing some incredible things over the past few years. So we just wanted to give a quick shout out to them. I'm sure the majority of the products are available online, and every time I'm in the grocery store, I see those. So a little bit more expensive than your Heinz mustard, but it tastes pretty damn good on most things, especially the jalapeno kind. So that is tonight's free ad. Another great Manitoba company, Smak Dab mustards.
Boom! It's delicious.
It is delicious.
Yeah,
That maple bacon one is. What's that?
I've only had it at your place, but I quite enjoyed it. I can't afford it, so I usually just try to eat at other people's places. But just kidding. If anybody knows me, I spend the dumbest money at the grocery store.
I was going to say you need to cut back on your Joe Boxer budget. Sounds like you got a lot of those. But with that, we'll get into our second segment, which is our individual segments and then the questions. But we're kind of pulling an audible on that one tonight too. But Reggie, you got your stroke saver for tonight, buddy?
I do. My stroke saver for tonight is a tip from Gary Player. Jorah actually sent me a video last week, and it was very interesting. And I actually used it on the weekend in the Agassi Cup we played in, and it worked.
Really?
I was 3 for 3, so I knew I could take it onto the show. So basically, what it is, if you have a putt from about, would you say up to 5 feet, Jorah, is fair?
Yeah.
And you don't know which way it goes, go up to the hole. And this isn't going to work if you're the first group out, obviously. Right. But if it's the middle of the day and there's already been quite a few golfers through, check which side of the cup is more worn out, and that will tell you which way the putt breaks. So I was 28 years old when I found that out from Jorah last week. And how we didn't know that sooner, it might be one of the greatest tips ever. But like I said, there is some variables to it. Like if you're the first group out, there isn't going to be any marks. But if it's later on in the day, that is absolute gold.
Reg, just dive a little bit deeper into it with the explaining. So if it's worn, what does that mean? That's where it's breaking, but that's where people are missing the putts?
That's where, the majority of people are missing the putt. So it's going there and then burning the edge and then going out.
Right.
So next time you're standing over a 4-footer and you don't quite know which way it goes, just give the hole a look and see which hole or which side of the hole is worn out. And that's generally the way it breaks too.
Generally the low side.
Right.
And maybe that's why they call it burning the edge, burns the grass a little bit.
That's right. So we could call that tip burning the edge.
Ooh. Burning the edge with Reg.
I was fascinated by that. I had to send it, and I said, try your bet. Test this out first, but try her out because it's wild.
And I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's all I got for tonight. Simple but effective. Give it a try, folks.
Love it. Trumsy.
Culture Corner this week, I have a Netflix documentary as a recommendation. It's called The Social Dilemma. When did we watch this? 2 nights ago, I think. It's about an hour and a half long doc about the dangers and the impact that social media is playing on the world, basically as a whole right now. Dives into how it can affect politics, the effect it's having on younger kids these days, and then goes into like the mental health issues combined with that, like the crazy amount or the crazy suicide statistics that conjoin to social media, and how it's used to basically monetize humans, and just the what do they call it, data farming. It is what it is, and just they're selling all our data to the highest bidder. And it's a crazy documentary that will scare the shit out of you, and also open your eyes to how crazy just everything you do online is. So yeah, like there's a lot of scariness to it, but there's also a lot of like amazement of how big and how broad the spectrum is of what social media can affect.
So what was it called, Drums?
The Social Dilemma. So, and it's got like people like that, the guy that designed the like button for Facebook, and he like explains why they designed it and what it was intended to do. And now like the effects that even just having a like button on somebody's picture, how that affects like kids' mindset going,
self-esteem.
Yeah, their self-esteem and all that stuff. So it's a crazy look into the world of online right now. Yeah. It's nuts.
So is it new or?
Yeah, I think it just came out last week.
Okay. I'm actually gonna watch that when we're done tonight.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
So my problem with I don't want to get too deep into that stuff, but my problem with the Netflix documentaries is I feel like the people who own Netflix have interest in those other companies too. So you don't know how accurate why would Facebook want, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying at all? Like,
yeah, 100% I do.
I always question where it's coming from and the agenda behind it.
And it gets into that as well. Okay. It gets into like how how one thing can lead into another conspiracy theory. Like it goes into Pizzagate and a guy going in with a gun to the pizza place that he thought was connected with Pizzagate and all that kind of stuff too. But I do agree with you on the fact that like Netflix does have its own people, its own agenda that are getting money from the exact same thing that they're exploiting in a documentary right now. Like
So how much truth is actually in it? That's what I mean. But
I think there's a lot of truth into it, because like they're not like giving their side to it, I guess, but they're just giving you like the fact that this is what it is and kind of going with it that way.
Yeah. It is definitely something to watch and to pay attention to, but like I said, I don't know. And
with somebody that's having a kid right away, like the impact that the social media is going to have on kids.
Yeah.
Like we were the first generation that had it, right? So we probably aren't like the most at risk person for getting addicted to all that stuff, where anybody coming after us, like that's all your entire life, right, is online.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you look at some of the older generation, and or parents or aunts and uncles. Like it's not limited to age. I don't think. I think that the way that they're designed make them addicted. Like,
Well, sure. Like if you have an addictive personality, like social media
yeah,
is right up
that's
your
right.
alley.
Yep. All right. No, that's good.
It's
I like,
interesting.
yeah, I like that stuff. It's very interesting. It sure makes you question what you're doing online though. And you got to be paying pretty close attention to even on like the Zoom right here.
Oh yeah, who's watching
Like,
us?
do you think that someone's not watching this right now?
Okay,
Don't get, yeah, go ahead, but not too deep.
well, my only thing is like somebody's not watching this, but they have the ability to go back and get it.
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
there's nobody sitting here live watching us right now.
Like our stream
Because
of
there's a
this
quad-
is gone into some computer somewhere that
Yeah,
some guy can
that's
pull
right.
up for
Yeah.
whatever reason. But yeah. Like we've had the talk before, like off air. Like we'll be talking about Ben Hogan irons, and we get on our phone afterwards, and every ad on Instagram is for Ben Hogan.
Oh, it's weird.
So
Okay. Well, we should dedicate a whole episode sometime, maybe just me and drums, and get into some deep stuff on here. But probably not, though. This is a little bit lighter. I like lighter. Tonight's junk drawer is kind of as the junk drawer goes, it's kind of completely random. But we're doing our blue chair tournament this weekend, it's called. So it's like a Ryder Cup style thing. And we're going to do some walkout songs for the competitors. And so I've been getting people to send me their songs privately, and we're going to have to modify it just because the COVID rules now. We can't all be on the same tee box and stuff. But what made me think of this was I've been getting some, like my whole playlist now is people's suggestions for their walk-up song, right? So I was listening to it on the way home from Erickson today, and I was like, man, these are some good songs that I've heard before, but you don't just really stumble across random good songs. So kind of my idea on this was I'm going to put a post on Instagram for everybody to put their walk-up songs on Instagram, like on the story there in the answer thing. And I'm going to compile a playlist of people's walk-up songs and call it like Kingdom Walk-Up or something like that. And I'm thinking it'll just be a cool way for people to see other people's
music,
favorite songs, basically. Like there's
That's
no other
sick.
real way to do that other than Spotify giving their recommendations based on what you listen to. But there are some songs in there that I knew that I like, but I didn't know what they were called or who sang them and stuff like that. So I thought it would just be a cool thing to do.
That's actually a sick idea.
yeah, I like that.
Make it public to the listeners and to everyone else, and they can find some new music on there.
Love it.
What have you got for yours?
Well, by the time this airs, it'll already be done. So mine's going to be Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shotgun a beer. It's going to be pretty early in the morning, though, so it might be a wake-up call to some guys. But the old Titanic shotgun, I think that there's some rap on there and there's some other funny music, but I think the boys will be a little caught off guard when they hear Celine Dion.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So that's that. I think that'll be pretty cool. We'll get that formulated once this episode is released. And I guess tonight we're going to be doing things a little bit differently, as I said. Going forward, we're going to try to use people's over-under along with our overrated or underrated for the second segment of the show. So where we would used to ask each other questions and stuff, we're going to throw some overrated and underrated. But tonight, we had a few people just ask some question and some discussion points for the podcast. So we're going to go with that tonight instead of our usual questions. And the first one was from Brody Hagarth, Hags. Golfed them a couple times in Kenosha. He's from that area. Pretty good golfer. Unbelievable guy. And his question for us was, I just had it here, lost it. Would you rather be 300 yards down the middle every time or never three-putt again? He said there's a big debate going on between his group of buddies. So that's, would you rather drive it 300 yards down the middle every time or never three putt again?
I've seen this one online in the past couple of days too. And
I'm taking. Go ahead,
Maybe it
Drums.
was Hags.
I don't know. I keep going back and forth on it, but I'm probably taking driver.
I'm dead set on driver too. You can get yourself in enough spots to one putt that you don't have to worry about three putting. And
Even two putting
Yeah.
over three putting. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going driver on that way.
Sorry, Eggs.
Yeah, I'd be
unanimous.
I'd be 300. I think, I don't know. It depends where you're golfing, but some of these courses around here, there's not a whole lot of three putts. Like Dolphin would be an example where you're not going to three putt those greens ever.
Your greens aren't big enough, yeah.
No.
GP,
But
there's a ton of three putts on
That's true.
Sunday. Those greens was nuts.
Yeah. Do you want to tell that story quickly, Rigo, of your almost ace there on 17?
I don't know. I don't like to. Whatever.
Okay, well, I'll tell it. We were all watching Rigo.
But tell the first part of the story. Tell the first part. I'll tell it.
Which is
So no, I'll just tell the first part because it's like so funny because we've talked about this on the podcast before about my my winless streak against Odie, and he always beats me, and it's just like a crazy streak that's going on for years. And so I'm 2 up going to number 16 at Gilbert, and he went left, so he had to chip back out in the middle of the fairway. I knocked it onto the fringe. He put it to the front fringe in 3, so we're both on the fringe. I knocked mine up to 2 feet, and he knocks his 35-footer in from off the green to make par. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go again. Like it's happening again. Like it's every year. So I tap in my 3-footer, whatever it was, which seemed like it was about 10 after he made that putt. But so then we get to 17, and with that group of guys, like 17 green, like there's how many carts have there been there? Joe? Like 12 carts around the back?
yeah.
Maybe not that many, 10 carts maybe. And the pin was, we just watched Jordan James putt ahead of us, and it was right on the side of the hill on the left side of the green, like to the point where anything on the left-hand side of the flag would go off the green. Like even if you were a millimeter left of the pin, it would roll off the green. So we watched these guys putt, and we're like, holy shit, like you got to miss the pin left, but there's only like 10 feet on the green left of the flag, so you kind of just got to try to miss the green left.
You couldn't be left. Yeah, you couldn't stay on the green left.
No. And so I step up, and now it's like, okay, 2 up with 2 to go, just finish it off already, you donkey. So I hit it was the best shot I hit this year for sure. And it landed the divot was like 1.5 inches or 2 inches from the hole. And Jordan, I don't know, I didn't see what happened to it up on the green, but
yeah, it was like on the left side of Gilbert, there's a bunker short and there's a hazard long. So you can't just bail out to the left, right, and try to chip up at it. Like there's a very small landing space there. And Rigo, he hits a high ball, so it kind of came down. It wasn't the usual divot and spin back. It just kind of dropped right beside the hole, bounced about 5 inches. Like it took a weird bounce. Looked like it was going to hold, took one roll, and went off the green. Like there's no shot you could have hit that would have stayed on that green to the left side. Yeah.
Like I landed 1.5 inches or 2 inches in the hole, and it still went off the green.
And got a good bounce. Like
it
didn't spin back off. It just kind of bounced 6 inches forward, kind of stopped, and then rolled off.
Yeah. So anyways, I ended up 2-putting and winning the match. So the curse is over. Thank God it's done. But it's kind of cool. I still lost the Agassi Cup, and I'm the only guy without my name on the trophy still. But it is what it is.
That's okay. You got a lot of trophies that other guys don't have.
Yeah, maybe so.
Like the shit show.
Too many of those.
The second question here is actually a discussion we got into at Original Joe's on Thursday night after Golf League last week. It's actually a good debate. It was Eric Waters who me and him were kind of discussing it, and the question was, if you get a hole in one on a par 3 tournament, does it count as a hole in one? So, for example, there's a par 3 tournament in Dauphin and Gilbert every year where they basically move all the tee boxes up to, say, 170, 180 yards out on every hole. So you're hitting from the fairways. So the question was, if you got a hole in one on one at Gilbert, which is actually a par 4 that they turned into a par 3, is that a legit hole in one?
No. You have
I wouldn't
to,
say so.
like, if somebody asks you if you've had a hole in one, you tell them I've had a par 3 tournament hole in one, but I've never actually had a hole in one. Like, you're not putting up a plaque from number 1 at Gilbert hole in one in your
That's
house.
what I mean. And usually you have like your scorecard, you have like, you know what I mean?
You can tell people that you got a hole in one, but you have to tell them how you got it. You can't just say you got a hole in one. Like, it's a hole in one, but it's not a legitimate hole in one. Unless it's, obviously, if it's on a par 3 in a par 3 tournament, that counts.
Okay. So we're all kind of in agreement there. That's kind of what we said too. Yeah. But the second part of the question, which I just kind of came up with right now, is because in the par 3 tournament, the prize is 10 grand. Would you rather have a hole in one in a par 3 and win 10 grand, or a hole in one on a normal hole and win nothing?
10 grand.
Yeah, me too. But
so we're saying it's not official, but we'd rather have that.
Yeah. Like, I'm not like downplaying the thing that it is. Like, you still got it in one shot from 160 yards. Like, it's still a phenomenal feat.
Because really, like, that's
but it's not official.
The whole objective when you go to that par 3 tournament that day is to try to get a hole in one.
Right.
So you kind of did
10K.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I guess I'll wrap things up in terms of the stuff we got going on right now, and then we can get to our usual send off from drums here. But we got our YouTube channel going. We got 3 episodes on there right now. We're going to keep adding videos. So if you want to see some of our reactions, or see Rico's cat once in a while, see how silly we look on camera, just check out our YouTube. You can subscribe to it if you'd like. And we're going to put some Reggie Stroke Saver live videos on there at some point soon. And like I said, Twitter, we're going to put the overrated, underrated. We're going to keep those going. So we sure appreciated the questions that we got and the topics we got. We're throwing that out there again. And I think that's all I'm going to talk for tonight.
We've had enough of you. Good talking.
Yeah, and actually we're running out of minutes in the night to go watch The Social Dilemma. So I'm kind of excited to go upstairs and watch that. So
that's right.
All right, so let's end this one. Like we always say, keep following with us, keep hanging out. If you keep listening, we'll keep doing it. We'll try to keep bringing some new entertainment to you as long as we can, as long as you're listening. Thank you for joining us again. Peace out. Love you, boys. Have a good one.
Love you,
See you, fellas.